What's up, my boy? We in week 20. Man, I ain't never been this consistent with nothing I said I was gonna stick with from New Year's or hell, hardly ever. But 20 weeks into this thing and I ain't missed a week yet. Merriam-Webster's word of the day is hapless, which is having no luck. What's crazy is I ain't feeling hapless because luck been kind of on my side. Let me knock on this tree right here because we ain't trying to jinx ourselves. But nah, for real, things been going kind of straight. With the exception, of course, of that working out. I don't know what happened last week. I ain't do nothing. No rucks, no working out, no spins, whatever. Last week was a wash. So this week, I ain't even gonna say what I'm gonna do. When we come back, I have it all. So no working out at all whatsoever. I ate okay. I feel pretty okay. Still being out. I mean, like, I walk while I'm at work on lunch some days. But, well, I get back to my lunch or whatever. But, really, man, I've been super active as far as, honestly, the business goes. So, most of my lunch days, I guess I'm getting some steps in, but it ain't considered no walking. For real, because, like, I may be walking around the spots that's near the job or something like that, and I'm going to different apartments. You know what I realized that I didn't think about? Freaking hotels. Anywhere, like I had thought of like apartments, like regular apartments, of course, but that was just more so trying to get them to, you know, people that live at the apartments. And then I was like, but it'd be even better if I can get some, apartments that already come furnished. So that was like, oh, that'd be the good one right there. Never freaking thought of hotels. Hotel rooms are furnished, so they get their furniture, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything's already in there. I mean, the same with the colleges, but I haven't gone to the colleges yet. They just got out of school, or getting out of school now, so, but still, better early than late in this regard, as opposed to better late than never. So, if I can go and make them connects in the next week or so, whatever administration or people up there during the summer, what I'm finding at a lot of the apartments is I'll hand it to whoever works there. Some of them say they'll give it to the manager, but in a lot of cases, I found it, I ain't gonna say weird, but it was unexpected. They were like, I'll give it to the maintenance guy. I'm like, do you understand what I'm saying? I put furniture together that clients buy. But hey, like I say, what's pretty dope about it is, learning the ins and outs, the ups and downs. So it's cool either way. If the maintenance man who I need to talk to, I ain't got no issue with that. As far as those go, I actually haven't got any no's. So that part being cool. Although we know me, I welcome the no's. The adversity. This thing ain't gonna all be sweet. And I know, like I said, I thought originally that the nail salons and hair salons would be like the ideal place, but I guess not. I got a lot of no's in those, but I haven't been to any ethnic ones yet. So we'll see. If I try to rock with us, if they'll rock with me. But I mean, most nail spots be Asian, or the ones on the side of town that I work on. So going to those, it's been we ain't on that. Okay. So I had one actually the other day when I was at work, and I went, and I fully support that. Asians, they gonna put all of them on. So the boy, I don't even know if he was like 18. But if he like just old enough to work, you know what I mean? Like, maybe late high school, early college, something like that. Because it was a weekday, so that's why I was saying that. But anyway, I was like, hey, you mind if I leave my car? He started reaching for their card. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Alrighty. So then there was like a Spanish looking lady that came to the front. I was like, y'all want to leave my car? And they kind of looked at each other confused. And they're like, yeah, we'll take it off. Oh, yeah. They definitely trashing this. They're not, going to do nothing with it. And it's like, even that's fine. It's more so, like I say, I fully have to, I feel like, get to where I want to go, embrace not just the good, but the bad, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to hand somebody this card, and I might walk 2-3 doors down and go do something, or hand somebody my card, in person, keep walking, and see my card on the ground. I ain't taking it personal. What they do, there's no promise, and what they do with the cards after I give it to them, I said, honestly, it ain't my business. I did my part. I advertised. I gave it to them. Who the customers that are for me, and they're gonna be there. And the ones that ain't, or they're gonna trash you. That's fine too. So, like I say, I'm enjoying the journey, man. Getting out there, and like I said, I worked on. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. That's something I gotta check out. What is considered the wealthiest area in my city? I know this is one of them because these people don't even want to be a part of the largest metropolitan city in the state. We want to branch off. It's usually the other way around. Like, oh, we the town of such and such, but we, part of the metropolitan. They are part of the metropolitan in the city limits, and still like, we won't be part of none. We us. So, I'm down there, and like I say, the apartments that I visited have been really receptive. Again, I work, it's in a good area, and I work in like the insurance finance industry or whatever. So if I'm down there and I'm in the office, then I'm suited and booted. I look presentable, and I mean, I know how to speak. I don't speak like this when I go there. I know how to, hi, I'm such and such. I own a small, assembly business, and just sitting there, you guys allow people to leave their cards. If any of your residents need something put together, then I can do it. So, small spill. We ain't got to do no whole bunch of talking. And like I say, they've all been, at least in my face, receptive. Again, what they do when I walk away, none of my business. Ain't worried about it at all. So, like I say, man, so far so good. It's really been cool. Everybody's been cool. They all been receptive. I was going to go that way, but then I realized it's harder to, I already go this way. So, that's where we at, man. It's been really fun. Just spreading the word. A couple of them, once I gave them my card, like immediately after, follow me on IG. Oh, wait a minute. That when I ain't gonna lie, I was like, all right, we on. Like, that was kind of cool or whatever. Because like I say, of course it's in my head, like, are they really gonna spread the word or get my card or, whatever the case is. Even though I'm not tripping off of it, I'm human, so I'm still hopeful, optimistic, and I wonder if they got rid of it. I mean, because it happened. I done took people calls before, and I'm not interested at all. But yeah, give me one. All right, straight to the trash. So if I done did it, I know the other people do it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this guy and be nice while he right here. Boy, get out of my face. We don't need this. So, but that's like I said, that was cool to see people immediately after. Like, I ain't even got my seatbelt on good yet, and they followed you. So hold up, wait a minute, pause. You sat down, and not from their personal account, from the apartment account. So it's like, that's kind of cool. You sat down back at your desk, on your phone, wherever. It don't matter to me. But some way, somehow, you looked at my card, went, because I want to have a QR code on there so people can scan it, because I know a lot of people like to do that or whatever. But, you went, looked, searched, saw my stuff, and then said, I'm going to follow him. Hey, I appreciate the support. So, like I say, that's been really cool and motivating. But what I was speaking about, like working out on my lunch break, that's why I haven't. Like, I really been going hard with, like, let me cover, this week. And it may be 1 or 2 days next week, but like tomorrow's my last day in the office for the week. So I'm gonna really try to get out there and boop, 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 bounce around to whatever places I didn't cover. Like, I try to stay gone no longer like an hour, maybe hour and a half. So, matter of fact, I didn't do that this week. I kind of just looked on my lunch break, whereas tonight I'll prepare better. So what I am doing is keeping track and keeping a list of places I've already distributed them, so I don't, give them to the same place. So when I get home tonight, I set up a list of, let's say, like 5 to 8 places that I want to go to on my lunch break, and try to, especially if I can get something like, okay, this neighborhood right beside that one, I can really walk next door, you know what I'm saying? That'd be even better. So doing that, man, that, like I say, interfere with, the working out and all that or whatever. No excuse, because like I say, I can spend, dog. I got it at home. So, it what it is. But what we had going on. Well, so this past weekend, I got all them hellions, them buzzards, the kids, and I knew they was gonna drive me crazy. I knew they was gonna break something. Cause that's just who they are and what they do. They get together and gotta do stupid stuff. But they really didn't do nothing crazy stupid. I didn't see anything broke at the house. They didn't trash the house nowhere near as much as they normally do. They kept it kind of clean. And I think it's because I respectfully was like, hey man, look, do me a favor. Keep the house clean. If not even keep it clean. Before you walk away from wherever you are, take 1 minute for me and just look back. If you eating, before you leave the table, look at the table, look under the table. See if your spot is clear. You in the living room? I don't let them play in the living room anyway, but just look. Make sure the pillow's straight, whatever. You up in the loft and y'all playing? Before you leave the loft, whether it's to go downstairs and eat, go watch TV, go do something else, look back at the area you're leaving. You're in the bathroom. Look back at the bathroom. Make sure it's clear. And they did much better than they typically do, so I had more of my sanity than I expected left at the end of the week, so that was pretty dope. What else we had going on? I mean, we didn't do nothing crazy special. We kicked it at the house. We went to the park, chilled at the park, and that was pretty much it. So, like I say, all the boys except my oldest, my nieces, my sister, a little bit, like all the kids was there. So, I thought y'all had a real life. I'm about to get hit. That'd be bad. We record a video, put on YouTube, and die. See? Them damn phones, like the old people say. But, yeah, it was really cool, man. I did find out I got finessed by my niece. She knew she got in trouble in school on Friday. Came home, ain't said a word to nobody. I'm sitting at work on Tuesday, and they like, hey, so your niece is in trouble. Can you come get her? No, I'm at work. What are you talking about? She got in trouble just now? No, she got in trouble Friday. Oh, hey, you came to my house chilling, hanging out? Cool. I'm going to make sure now that I do something that your siblings get to go do fun that you don't get to go do because you finesse me. Like, nah, I won't play that. It wasn't no bad behavior. Get out of here. So, other than that, it was pretty solid. Yeah, like I said, that was the weekend with them. So I knew that I wasn't going to be out, making really no money this weekend. At least or so I thought, right? So, only had one job this past week, I believe. I don't think I did nothing during the week. Yeah, sort of, kind of. So, the one I know for sure that I did, I'm sitting here like I said, I hadn't done nothing on Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday we did karate. Thursday after work. I'm just I didn't. I don't remember. So I didn't do nothing Thursday. Nothing Friday. Friday I'm running picking all the kids up. So we get to Saturday and we at the park. Cool. We're kicking it at the park. And the guy that I spoke about, I think if it wasn't last week, it was the week before last, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's my repeat customer. And he had hit me up about an entertainment stand. And when we negotiated the price and everything, he checked with his wife. She said no. All right, she don't want it done. He ain't saying nothing back. I don't know what happened. What didn't happen, as my pops like to say. But the next thing you know, I'm sitting there Saturday. He like, hey, I got that entertainment stand, man. You think you still can help me with it? I'm like, dang, boy, I got the kids. So I started boop, boop, boop. Getting, my, I don't know, I was trying to think of like a cartoon character or somebody. Dr. Strange. Get my Dr. Strange on, seeing how I can finagle and finesse. What can I do so these kids covered? Because I can't leave them here unsupervised. Like, I got teenagers here, but they're teenagers, and I know how that is. They're not, one, they can't impose their authority on the kids. Two, they don't care to. So they'll close their room and their door and just let the other kids be doing whatever. And I ain't got time for that. So I worked it out, got covered. She got a family member to cover them, boom. So I ran over there, picked them up, ran back, dropped them off, boom, ran down the hill. And I think I said last week that one of my bronze had hit me up like, oh, my bad, I broke your extra TV. And you mother, don't worry about it. So he was like, you want to work? I'm like, yup. He's like, can I go with you? I said, you ain't getting paid. You owe me money for that TV. He said, that's cool. I still go. So we go down there, hop on, get on it, boom. It's three different sections of the entertainment stand, left, right, middle, of course. So we get here, get on it. And I think, let me see, with the first one, What do we do first? Left side was first. So left side, I know I skipped something. I did something backwards. I did the bottom. It was the bottom or whatever when it was time to connect it out, so I did it wrong. So we had to undo that. And then with the right side I did something too, but it wasn't as much to disconnect and reassemble as the left side was. And the middle, we made no mistakes. We just got the middle done. So all in all, I think it took like 4, maybe a little over 4.5 hours, 4 hours, something like that, which to me for that was decent. I did find out and realize that the screws that go in the cam lock or whatever, usually I'm like, I hate those because they're gonna make an assembly job take longer or whatever, because it's not like a regular screw going into wood. You have to make sure that it goes in right, otherwise it could strip, it could break the wood. So I don't know. I was sitting watching some tips earlier while I was working, like handyman tips, because people been asking me about like hanging pictures, and I got stuff I need to hang at home too. And some of the stuff I hung came down, fell. My picture, my big picture of my mom came down. I looked up this morning, or last night, I think, yesterday, one, and it was right in front of my door. I'm like, what the hell? Now we finna fall out. One of y'all done made this fall. No. It just fell. It fell. Her little plaque fell, I think, last week. So, but I didn't put them up with, what would you call it? I didn't put them up with like stuff that you hang them up with. I literally had like thumbtacks that you push in and then just hung them on the back like that. So those, I guess the weight, they aren't meant to be, they're meant to stab stuff. They ain't meant to be holding stuff up, at least in my experience. So they fit. So I'm like, all right, cool. But I do have like the picture hanging kit. So like I said, I looked up some videos on that and some tips, because the young lady I said who I did her baby crib, the bookcase, and the high chair, she asked me about hanging stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. I was going to look it up anyway before. But like I said, especially, it's funny how, like I said, all the stuff works out because things become more urgent. More urgency are put in front of me. In this case, with my own life, it's like, all right, my stuff falling. Let me get on it. And I'm chilling at home. Currently, right now, they haven't assigned me any more work. So it was like, normally, I'd be sitting there, BSing or whatever, passing time, YouTube videos and stuff like that. So what I've been doing this week, I've been watching some training videos. So I'm watching them. So like I say, if they're doing whatever track, hey, you see I'm watching stuff. And it's still, in there that I'm reaching out to people seeing if they need more help. So whatever. But watching training videos, and I was like, let me look up some of this handyman stuff to help me or whatever. So I looked that up, hanging pictures and stuff, and I looked up something else because I know I need to learn fans. I be seeing fans on there too, and I have to learn TVs. But yeah, I was watching those and found some really helpful tips. I think for my house, the stuff that I hang up, I'm gonna what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna use screws or nothing like that. I'm gonna try the adhesive, where you just put it on there and pull the little adhesive or whatever, and it makes it stick. I watched whatever's on one of the little videos with the tips or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a good idea. So I'm gonna get that to try to find stuff at my house. Then I'll worry about the rest later, or the hanging up in the kicks. Some of that stuff is too heavy, so I will have to use it. So I mean, I get it all the experience in this coming week. So cool, got that or whatever. Like I said, we did that. I feel like did that one job, and then oh yeah, so my older sister on my pop side, she hit me up. Actually, today is Wednesday. If it wasn't Sunday, I feel like it was Monday, and I think I might have been at work or something. It was Sunday or Monday. She hit me up and was like, hey, what you got planned for, maybe it was Monday, I can't remember, I feel like it was Monday. But what you got planned? I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I need your help. I'm like, well, what? I'm like, she's talking about similar stuff. She's like, Mother's Day I was over there. She was like, this washer and dryer, or the dryer. She had a dryer that she needed to get rid of and take somewhere, and then she wanted to bring another one to take her dryer somewhere, swap it out pretty much with another one at another house. So I'm like, that's cool, yeah, I'll help you, of course. So she's like, how much you gonna charge me? I'm like, I ain't tripping off that. She had looked out for me and showed me some love, and it ended up being like the person moved back to the country where my pops and family from. So they not coming back. And it was like, hey, free for all. You see something here you want, you can take it. What? With as much stuff as I ended up with, I'm like, you ain't even really got to throw me nothing for real. She kept, hinting at that or whatever, like, deduct this from the bill. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, deduct it. Girl, I'm good with this. So when we finished, she was like, what I owe you? I was like, whatever you felt like you was gonna throw me, like you say, deduct this from it and we good. She was like, I didn't have a number in my head. I'm like, I didn't either. So I was like, if you send me something, whatever you send me is cool. So she didn't. That was Monday. But we didn't get everything done. I mean, well, we got the dryers swapped out or whatever, the dryers. She wanted, I took down the curtain rods for her so she could hang her curtains. Curtain rods, the dryers. And then we just transported some stuff back. And like I said, I took all the stuff I wanted. But there was also a, what do you call it? It was a, it was like a stand. Because I keep plants or whatever. But I just got them all spread out on the floor. Because I never bought a plant stand, and now I'm glad I did. Because I got one for free. So it's like 3 shelves or 3 tiers or whatever. So, oh, this is perfect. So I'm going to grab that. We're actually going back tomorrow. So I'll grab that tomorrow. And there was a desk chair. And it was like, oh, okay, y'all can use this. So I have typically work I do in my room. Because I have the standing desk for that. And then any side work or business work, like, of course, I'm supposed to be doing bookkeeping, ain't nowhere near started still. But I plan on doing the bookkeeping still, and I have another desk set up separate for that. But I don't have a desk chair, so I have a desk chair for where I do my work in my room, but I don't have a desk chair. I mean, I had one, but I gave it to one of my bronze. I let him use it. I think I didn't like it like that, and he did, so I was like, you can have it. So I saw another one there. I didn't sit in it, so I don't even know if I'm going to like that one. If I don't, I'll leave it. But if I like that chair, then I'll take that chair or whatever, and that'll be my downstairs chair for outside working business or whatever. So we shall see. So I did that for her, like I say, Monday, and we go back tomorrow. When I get off, I'm going to run over there. So I got that set up. One of my friends hit me to set up a job for the weekend of June 6th. She's swapping beds. So take her bed apart, and I don't know where she put it. I think she said Goodwill or something. Take her bed apart, send her to Goodwill, and then she getting another bed. So, but I have to disassemble that bed, bring it to her place, and then put that bed back together. And so she's like, how much you gonna charge? I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna have to get over that, because I'm like, people that rock with me, I don't be feeling right. Like, you know how they be like, don't expect discounts or whatever. How black people do it with our people. We got a business. How you doing? We got a business. First thing they do is say, how much the discount gonna be or whatever. And it's like, discount, man. You ain't ask, other companies or corporations for a discount. And I'm a small business, so I need every cent. You know what I mean? So they're not asking, but I guess culturally in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm look, I ain't gonna charge them. So I don't know. I have to come up with, solid prices. I do have a job set up for this Friday. That was from like 3 weeks ago almost. From when we went out of town for Big Dog's birthday. I hit Buddy up to confirm for Friday. And he was like, yeah, we still on, man. I'm glad you checked. I wanted to make sure I was gonna hit you. I'm like, boy, I need all my change. You hit me. So yes, Lord, we on. So like I say, even with the job that came this past week, it's like, man, right on time. I thought I went through the whole weekend or a whole week without nothing. That was right on time, that money, cool. And I was still able to throw my bronze something, even though I said I wouldn't, and I feel like I shouldn't have. I was like, I'll still throw him a couple dollars, but he know he owed. So I still took a good chunk out to get, recoup for the TV or whatever. Not the whole thing, threw him a couple dollars, so it was still good or whatever. Like I said, did that job for my sister, got that one coming up. It's like in maybe 2 weeks for my homegirl. Got this one coming up on Friday. And somebody I hadn't spoke about in a while actually hit me up, Miss Maria. She hit me up yesterday. Yesterday, I was on my way from work. While I was still at work. And she was like, hey, I need your help. I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, I got this, wagon cart type situation. because like I said, she on a laundromat, and sometimes she picks up the clothes from people, and sometimes they're like downtown, you know, in high rises or stuff like that. So she had a car, but it wasn't as easy to maneuver and move as this one. So she bought a new one. I came, picked it up, and she was like, I just need it back by Sunday. I was like, lady, you're gonna have this back tomorrow. I'll be at home tomorrow. I got time. I knew I didn't have, you know, unless they gave me a bunch of work. I was like, no, I had this done by tomorrow. So she was like, okay, that's fine. So I get home, take it out the box this morning. The thing already assembled. So she never opened it. So when I get back and take it to her, she like, how much I owe you? I'm like, I told her, don't even worry about it. Like I said, I was like, if you want to give me a tip, that's cool, but don't worry about it. Like, I really didn't feel right charging that lady because, like, I was telling her, like, this business is really helping me out in times where it be like, you know, pockets kind of touching, or, well, I ain't even gonna say pockets touching. I'll say more so where responsibilities or bills that I knew, like, you know, you pick and choose. I wasn't robbing people to pay pause. Hey, look, they'll get it when they get it. And they wasn't getting it. And now that, you know, boom, okay, this weekend I got this much going on. That week, oh, hang on, you know, this is an unexpected couple of whatever, you know, $10, $20 or whatever. And I've been able to put that, you know, on those bills, or make an extra shopping trip or whatever, like get more food in the house, or go do something extra with the boys, like whatever. I was like, you don't understand how much, like I always talk about, you know, for me, money it's not to buy materialistic stuff. I'm a hoarder of money, if possible, just because it gives me comfort. Like I say, sickness, job loss, whatever. If I got money over here, you got your stash, your savings, whatever. If you got, let's say, I don't know that many people. I mean, I don't be in people's business like that, but I know for me, I mean, you should have 3 to 6 months. But let's say you mess around and you got a year or two worth of savings. I'm jogging because these calls coming. I wasn't supposed to go, whatever. Let's say you got a year or two worth of savings stashed up, right? A year or two worth of savings. And knock on wood, your job come on tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, Monday, whatever. And they're like, hey, I don't know, first name that came to my mind was Will. Will, sorry, buddy. We're going to have to let you go. Last day, nothing to do with your performance. The whole, you know, layoff speech they give, as we know, I know very well, you know, nothing to do with performance. We're just going to have to let you go. Company isn't performing that well, or we're doing a reorg. Well, reorganize everything else. Don't reorganize me. Leave me alone. And don't say you're going to reorganize if you're getting rid of me. You're trimming some fat. Say that. Because if I was being reorganized, tell me you moved me to another department or something. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. You know, they say that, you know, I mean, like I said, if you got a few months, especially with this market, it's like, all right, hopefully this hold me, hopefully it ain't too bad. But like I say, for myself, this was the longest I was without a job. Yeah, only by, I guess, like an extra month, but still, it seemed like, especially, you know, with having jobs more consistent and not being out of work that long, like this was, woo, come on now, don't do me like this. So, you know, it did seem bad or whatever. And I had some saved, but I would say nowhere near as much as I'd like to have saved, or nowhere near enough to be comfortable. So, like I say, you know, had they gave me that call on December the 4th, and I had, let's just say a year, if I knew for sure I got the rent and most of the big bills, let's just say the rent, lights, car payment, stuff like that, the big bills, and all I got to cover is utilities and food, you know, if nothing else, for the next year. I got all those covered. So as long as I got those covered, you know, the big things covered, I just got to cover the little stuff and we good. Man, there will be no, like, panic, worry, anxiety, because it's like, all right, I'm good. And, you know, I've seen other people that do laid off content as well. And I think especially now, like, more so because of the market. But even still, like, a lot of them, I don't know, like I say, some of them come on and say their, you know, financial status and where their savings at, and some don't. So I don't know everybody's, but I know, like, vividly 1 or 2 are replaying in my mind where they was like, I'm good because I got that kind of savings. I got 6 months to a year. I'm good. You know what I mean? So, that is why like I said, the people that know me or whatever, and like I said, not too many people know me well, but some of the people that know me on certain levels hear me talk about money a lot. Now, that's all you care about is money. I really don't care about money at all. Like, I care about comfort. So, let's say it was, you know, I've seen those hypotheticals like, if you could have housing, I guess all your bills covered, and let's say food, gas, like all the essentials, everything you need be covered, but you could never make over X, Y, a certain percentage where you'll still be okay and can afford other stuff, would you take it? Probably so. Probably so. If I got to pay for a house and the taxes and the utilities paid for, food is covered, and so it's like really just disposable income. You can never make over this amount of disposable income. My bad. I don't know if that affected it with the audio. I'm using this microphone. Well, I know that did because it dropped. When I hit it, I loosened it up. So I don't know how that went. We'll see on the playback. But, and then I can do it better now. Hang on, I got to try and get this thing reattached to my shirt. This is my first time. We on? Nope, we not. Dang. We on now? Yep, we on. I think so. We on good enough to keep going. So, yeah, like, I'll take that because the essentials, the reasons most of us go to work are to pay the big bills and make sure, you know, we got stuff covered. So, like I say, food, housing, utilities, all that stuff covered. All that, and well, you have this, you know, percentage because I mean, price is going to increase for stuff over time. So, no, let's say it's like, let's say 1,500 or 2,000. Something reasonable or whatever. It's like, this is your disposable leftover after all bill. After all that stuff covered. Would you be good with that? Yeah, for me, I would. Again, I don't spend money like that anyway. So, I'd be straight. But for some people, that's crazy. Okay, well, rent and all they going to keep going up. Mortgage, whatever, you know, if you settle in with that. I don't know. But, like I say, having that stuff paid off will make me super comfortable knowing that I had it. So, cover the work, cover the jobs. It was something else. What else? What else? Talked about the work, talked about the jobs. I got distracted walking. Work, jobs. Oh yeah. So the job, I don't know how I got off, but the job, I got one, like I said, scheduled for Friday. Like I said, I checked with the dude. So looking forward to that or whatever. I talked about this microphone. Dropping this mic really threw me off trying to get this whole train of thought gone. Cause like I was on point with it. What else? I don't know. And that's trash. Because I was doing kind of solid. Mainly 30 minutes. So, I don't be tripping on time. I just be wanting to cover everything. And I feel like time I hang this up, I'm going to remember what I forgot. I don't know. But I know this weekend, supposed to be going to get my oldest. His summer break is started, so I got to drive all the way down on Sunday. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So, man, I did something I ain't did in a minute. I went to the movies yesterday. Final Destination. It did not disappoint. And I like how they switched it up. It's Final Destination Bloodline. So normally, you know, it'd be like a bunch of random people that were all in the same place at the same time, but there's no tie or connection or whatever. So, like, we're not family. Some of them would be friends, but not necessarily like, I know some of them was like at the same high school, stuff like that. You know, we're just in the same area or supposed to be going on a trip, whatever the case is, same flight, but we're not all interconnected. This one, it ended up being a family or whatever. So, I guess spoiler alert, if you ain't seen it, don't nobody watch this. What I'm talking about. Anyway, so Self. Ain't no spoiler alert because you already saw it. But, so the lady ended up being the grandma of the family or whatever, but of course she wasn't in. She was like, I think in her teens, late teens, early 20s, and this back in like, I think the 50s. So, you know, then it was not abnormal to start a family way sooner than it is now. And like real family, not like, oh, I got pregnant, whatever the case is. No, like we are intentionally going to settle down and have a family by 22. If it's 22, I think 22 might have been considered kind of late back then. But anyway, so they were going to this fancy sky view thing. They went up, you know, high, whatever, and gave you a view over the city and eat dinner with all the wealthy folks. So they got in. Of course, naturally, she had the premonition vision that it was going to fall, the tower going to crumble, whatever the case is, everybody going to die. So she did get on. Like, normally, the person will stop before, like, they weren't even bored. So, like, let's say she would have had the vision, like, on the way there or in the line, and then be like, no, I'm not going up. Don't nobody go up. No, she already up there. Like, I think it said 500 and something feet in the air. So, 50 floors up. And for me, I was like, that I don't know about, because the structural integrity of it, it was like built super slim. And I'm like, I don't know about that, which I guess I'm lying, because I done been on some of them like sky view things where it does go up and it does have a small like center balance thing. But I don't know. I know they ain't go up no 500 feet. That's 50 stories. Nah, it wasn't it. Like, I need to be in the building in. Anyway, so they go up or whatever, and she has the vision. I think she might have had the dream or the vision before. And so that's what it was. It was like deja vu. She's up there already. Like I said, which is not how it normally works. The person normally had a vision beforehand and don't go. She's already up there, and then deja vu, and it's like, hang on. I remember this. And then it was like, FTK, forget them kids. One of them threw a penny, and he triggered the whole thing. The penny got blew back in by the wind and blew some gas. And like I say, the structural integrity, like I say, that thing wasn't built right. It didn't look like it. And they actually played on it and moved. And I said it before it happened. Like, I wouldn't have been up there. That don't look structurally safe. Which, of course, is a movie. So, hey, I mean, it's a movie where they all die, typically. So, yeah, I was going to be right. But I didn't know that necessarily it was going to be that. So, the penny, she hear a song. The song set off. The security guard comes say something to the boy. And she like, oh, hell nah. I seen this. I seen how this play out. I understand it now. Hey, my boy, we got to get up out of here. Hey, little boy, don't throw that penny. So she stopped him from throwing the penny, run back in, and the glass bottom was started cracking or whatever. So she knew that was coming. And that was going to be like the first people to die. They was going to fall through the floor. So she went and stopped the band, like, y'all stop playing da-da-da-da, whatever. So she stopped it. And they found, I think it said that they found the, you know, like, the mistakes in the structure later. So they shut it down. So she saved all of them or whatever. But, of course, all those people weren't supposed to live. They were supposed to die. And, like I say, in this case, it was different because they went on to have families that they weren't supposed to have, hence the bloodline. And it was like, nah, you know, death don't play. Death gonna spin the block, because I was supposed to get all y'all. Y'all ain't escaping this, and y'all families wasn't supposed to be born. So she went, you know, of course, like in recluse mode and hid out in like the woods. And I ain't coming up out of here because I know death gonna spin the block. So I think she stayed for like some decades, like maybe 30, 40 years, something like that, hidden away. And, you know, they were like, oh, she went crazy. Of course, I mean, people gonna think you crazy or whatever, because it did happen. If it did happen, then they're still gonna think you crazy because it happened and you said it was gonna happen. That still makes you seem crazy, even though it's like, no, I said I had a freaking dream. So she gets off, goes into hiding. Her granddaughter keeps having a recurring dream. Asks some family members like, yo, what's grandma, whatever, and go and do some research. Head back home because she in college, and say this thing been waking her up. I think she said every night for like 6 months. And it's like, my grades dropping. This is affecting my life too much. I gotta like find something out. So she go find the grandma, and the grandma, you know, like, again, I don't believe you. Then once she realized and see, like, oh, no, this is really my granddaughter. Come on in. And she's telling her, like, look, you need to stay here with me, because if it's after you, you know, death gonna get you. The granddaughter like, I ain't doing that. I'm getting up out of here. So she go outside, and the grandma like, man, the love you have for, you know, your lineage or whatever. So she ain't seen this girl. I don't know if I think ever or whatever, because she been gone so long. So she ain't seen this girl ever in person, first time. And the girl run off, and she like, I know Def gonna get my granddaughter, because Def tried to like get at her while she was talking to her. So the granddaughter like, what you doing? Who you talking to? She like, Def. He think I'm sleeping because you here distracting me, whatever. So the granddaughter take off, and she like, here, at least take this book. It'll help you, you know, be able to see the signs. And the granddaughter like, man, whatever. So the grandma come outside, and I'm talking. She ain't out there a good 45 seconds, right? So the granddaughter like, what you doing? She was like, seeing is believing. I think like, I know it went through her head. I think it went through her eye, something like that. So, split face, blood in the granddaughter's face, in her mouth. I'm like, I don't know, I ain't got no grandkids yet. Hell, I love my kids, but I mean, the lady was older too. I don't live my life or whatever. And then how much living are you doing if you're living as a recluse and just, you know, trying to avoid death all the time? So I guess she was ready. Like, I'll sacrifice for my granddaughter. So, she get took out. The granddaughter come back, tell all the family, like, look, she had all this, I'm showing y'all this stuff. And they're like, man, you crazy, she crazy, get out here with that BS. So the way death, in this case, you know, death normally get you in the order you're supposed to die. In this case, it's getting them in order of oldest to youngest, because like lineage or whatever. So, like for example, I'm gonna just use like drama kids. So my brother older than me, then my sister. So it'll be my brother, my oldest niece, nephews, cool. Then it'll come after me, my oldest, my youngest, and then my sister. But because like it was supposed to only be bloodline or whatever, but one of the brothers died or whatever. That brotherly love, he went out there. Now he good because he found out his daddy ain't his daddy, so he in the clear. But he died anyway, going to make sure his brother was straight. Brother died. He died first, trying to protect his brother. Brother died like 45 seconds later. So that was in vain. But I was like, hey, love my brothers. Hell nah, y'all dead. I'm in the clear. So definitely coming out to me. That ain't my daddy. Don't worry about it. So anyway, he get murked like that or whatever. Like, it was bad, like with a lot of the deaths. But what pissed me off was the end. Because first of all, I seen it. Again, I don't know why I'm saying it. Whatever. A couple people be watching this, I guess. If you seen it, then you know that the last deaths, like the girl and the brother that made it, their mom came back in their life. They ain't seen her since they was kids. She came back. She died for them or whatever. And they're like, the sister drowned and they saved her life. So it was like, oh, okay, he saved her. So it stopped the pattern. But then it was like a doctor that was like, nah, you didn't really save her life. Like, if you just resuscitated her, then the heart didn't stop. And they look like, hold on, wait, what? A damn penny fell on a train track, right? Penny falls on a train track, derails a whole train. Train jump, I think, over a house, chasing them because the boy getting ready to go to prom or whatever, the brother. So they running, avoid the train, right? They avoid the train, let's say by like 15, 20 feet. It stopped 15, 20 feet short. I'm like, whew, whew. Dramatic effect for movies. They sit there and chill like, man, we made it. That was close call, whatever. Bruh, I'm not staying on this street. Even though it's off tracks, it ran this far. I'm getting the hell out of here. I would have had to get off the block or go somewhere else. They stand there rapping and talking. And if you've seen the Final Destination series, hell, I even posted on Snapchat one day because I was behind the log truck. And I know you lying. Final Destination about to come out. It ain't finna come out early on me. If you from my generation or not seen the movies, you right behind no dang on log trucks. We not playing them games. So that was, I think, the very first one. Yeah, the very first one. No, the first one. Was the first one the plane or that one? I don't know if it was the first one. It was like one of the very early ones, like first or second. And wood truck murked a whole bunch of people. So the ending of this one, the brother and sister that made it all the way to the end. A dang on log truck. Oh, I guess logs out for the train or whatever. One of the carts had logs on them. Coming. But we ain't got to worry about order. It took them out within 1.5 seconds of each other. Both of y'all up out of it. Don't worry about it. Final Destination, Bloodline. The Bloodline is over. Everybody dead. So it was wild, man. It was a really good movie. Hadn't been to the movies in a while. So that was dope. I signed up for the little membership and you get discounts and half off and free movies. So I think I don't know. I see how people get into this because like some of the channels I watch is like, man, they got 5 channels. Like for me, it won't be channels, but it'll be playlists. So like I got this where I review the week, Mind of Me playlist. The assembly jobs, that's the leave it to me assembly, because you know, name of the business. I don't know how much, like I always said I want to do food stuff for food reviews, and especially now that I'm already on YouTube and posting videos, boom, might have a food review playlist, and then I might do movie reviews. Like I say, all these is for me. It's not for nobody else. So just, you know, like I say, myself, and like I say, you know, later in life, way down the line, or if I pass, you know, depending on how long YouTube a thing, whether it be my kids or bloodlines. If I got grandkids and I could, yeah, boy, look at your granddaddy back in my 30s. Yeah, whatever. Well, you know, talk, what was going on when you don't know what's going on. Sit down right here, boy, girl. Let me, I ain't got to tell you. I can show you what I was talking about and what was going on in my life. So I think, like I said, that'd be cool to be able to really look back at your life, and whether it's for myself to reflect, which I know I will be. Each week I go back and look at the week before, but then, like I said, especially when it's a year from now, and I've been doing this for a year. So like I say, when hell, like I said, December 4th will be a year from the very first video, the layoff video that started all this, laid off chronicles in the mind of me and all that. And it lit me too, because it made me start the business. So to December 4th, that'll be, a very big moment, because it's what started all this. January 1st would be like the first full year, because like I said, it's supposed to be I only plan on doing one video and it turned into a weekly review. So it'll be like, all right, boom, we got a whole year in review where I can look back at each week and see, like I say, if I reach my goal. We know already I'm not on track to reach my fitness goals, because I've been BSing. We in month 5, almost month 6, so half of this year, and I still haven't done one full week of what I was supposed to do. The second half of the year, though, we own it. I got you. I promise. Don't even worry about it. So, like I said, it'd be dope to be able to look back for myself. Like I said, some of these videos I'll be seeing a couple views on or whatever. If somebody else care want to look, that's cool. And like I said, just more so for my family to be able to see. So, that's it, my boy. Week 20 wrap up. I love you. Be kind to yourself. And just remember that everything that you're planning to achieve and working towards will be achieved overnight, plural, with an S, not overnight. Got to stay consistent. Got to stay disciplined. So, I love you, my boy. Be kind to yourself, and I'll holler at you next week.